Yeah, what's happening? Bonnie EC, another trucker. Once again, coming from the gym, sitting here in my thoughts. Figure I'll go ahead and capture what I got on my mind in a moment right now. So, what is good money in trucking? You know, in this trucking group I'm in on Facebook, man, I see a lot of people complaining about the money that they making in trucking, but this one particular post, this person said $1,500 to $1,800 ain't a week ain't enough in this economy. And that was real interesting to me. Real interesting. I definitely have an opinion about that. When it comes to what is good money in trucking, what is enough money in trucking, man, a lot of that stuff is dependent upon how you manage money. A lot of stuff is dependent upon how you manage money, where you live in it, what your personal expenses is like. Because to me, being a company driver, making $1,500 to $1,800 a week, that's good money. This coming from an owner operator. You know what I'm saying? That's good money. After taxes, after you done paid all your expenses for your benefits and all that different type of stuff, $1,500 to $1,800 clean money going straight to you. You ain't gotta worry about you ain't gotta worry about paying no truck note, no truck maintenance, no repairs. $1,500 to $1,800 clear every week. That's good money. Some people might feel different about that though, but to me, like I say, it all depends on your spending habits. You got high bills, you paying for stuff that you really can't afford, then yeah. You living in an area that the cost of living is high, then yeah, that might not be enough. You living in New York, California, Chicago, any place that's got a real high cost of living, and you trying to keep up with the Joneses, then $1,500 to $1,800 ain't gonna be enough. Yeah, you're right. It ain't gonna be. But I live in Indiana. That's why I'll never move. Chicago, I don't live too far from Chicago. But I'll never move to Chicago. I'll never move to Illinois. Ain't no purpose in it. Because now, what I'm saying, I'm thinking about cost of living. Any place that I move to, I'm thinking about the cost of living. I don't got to live in no big metropolitan city. That's just me personally. But like I say, man, when it comes to what's good money, that's really subjective. It's really all on you. Before I became an owner operator, that was my average. You know what I'm saying? $1,500 to $1,800 a week. Sometimes more, but on average, $1,500 to $1,800 a week. That was good money for me. But it all depends on your situation. I'm a single man, and it's just me. So, and I knew how to manage my money, and making that type of money, I was able to put myself in a position to jump into being an owner operator. So, and I can tell you now, I feel like life was easier. You know what I'm saying? I feel like life was easier making that type of money, being a company driver, without having to worry about all these issues with dealing with a truck, being responsible for your own equipment. Now, don't get it twisted. I wouldn't give it back for the world. I feel like the fight for freedom and the fight for your sovereignty is worth the fight. To me, a lot of people, it's been a lot of people in trucking that have had their own trucks. They done sold them, turned them back in, went back company. The shit can be rough. But the way I look at it, I got a more realistic approach. You know what I'm saying? I know that freedom costs. It costs to have freedom, and you still gotta pay dues. So being an owner operator is very worth it to me. It can be painful at times for sure, but you got to fight through it. But I'm, even from this position, even from when things are good, is being an owner operator, and you making 3 to 4 times more than $1,500 to $1,800 a week. You making 3 to 4 times more than that. I still would say, man, that's good money. for a company driver, and you ain't got to worry about no responsibility of the truck or pay no expenses, man, that's good money. I feel like a person who don't know how to manage that, they got issues with how they manage money. You know what I mean? And that's why I say you get off in the trucking, man, this is a lifestyle. So I think that, you know, the more you're willing to make sacrifices and adjustments in trucking, embracing what come with this, the more successful that you will be. You know, a lot of people come into trucking, they want to have things their way. They want this crafted out. They want to come straight out of school. Well, I want a job that make, you know, $100,000 a year, and I want to work local. Some people, I'm pretty sure there's been some people who have lucked up and found those type of positions. You know what I'm saying? Coming just straight in the gate. But for most of us, that's not realistic. It's not a common thing. A lot of us, we got to come in the game. A lot of us can't afford to pay for schooling out of our pocket. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time to be waiting on a government program to give us funding. So a lot of times we got to go and go ahead and be a slave for these companies. Go ahead, let them put us through school, and we drive for them for a year. And you know what I mean? So most of us, we got to take that route. So, but to me, it's been well worth it. I don't regret nothing about my journey in trucking. But just to give some clarity on the money, man, what makes the money good is how you manage money. You know, you can make all the money in the world and still have financial problems. You can make all the money in the world and still be in debt. You know, so sometimes the amount of money ain't the issue, it's how you manage the money. And to me, $1,500 to $1,800, that's some good money. You know, if I had to go back to that, if I had no choice but to step down and go back to that to regroup, I would gladly do it. I would gladly do it. It would be no problem. To be honest with you, it'll probably be easier to go back to that, to being a company driver, making that amount of money and stacking up. Now that I have a clear vision, more clarity on everything, man, it'll probably be so easy for me to stack that bread up. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably be easier for me to stack that money up than it has been me trying to stack money up dealing with problems with my truck. So, hey, man, you know, like I said, I look at things 360. You know, I encourage people, if that's the route you want to go, getting your own truck, you should. But I just like to give people a realistic overall view of things so you know what you're getting into. Because it's a lot of one-sided advice. And a lot of people get misled into making certain decisions that don't be beneficial to you all the time. So this coming from owner operator, $1,500 to $1,800, man. That's damn good money. That's some good bread right there, man. And I don't know, man. If a person feel like that ain't good money, I mean, but if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, then it's not good money. You know, you making that type of money, you trying to establish yourself, and you spending all your money at Saks Fifth, Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, you know, new sports cars and all that different type of shit. Then yeah, it's you know, it's kind of expensive, man. You know, you got lavish habits. Yeah, $6,000 to what, $7,000, $7,500 a month. That ain't gonna be shit to somebody who don't know how to manage their money, but somebody who know how to manage their money can make that work, straight up. And sometimes, you know, you got to be willing to make sacrifices, man. You're gonna have to cut your expenses down. You're gonna have to accept delayed gratification to be able to put yourself in the position to do things and to get things that you want. It's just like, it's things that I want. You know, it's little material shit, little fly shit that I want to do. But I at this point in time, I can't do a lot of shit that I want to do right now because my main focus is securing my business, securing my truck. That got to come first, you know, before I step off into trying to do anything. So money management is the most important thing when it comes to what's good money in trucking, you know, because when I started off in trucking, I started off not making shit. Even when I was a trainer, man. I mean, when I was in training, I wasn't making shit, man. I think I probably made the most I probably made when I was in training, the 4 weeks or couple weeks, whatever, however long I was in training, man. $100 here, $150 there. But I can tell you this though, man, and I've said this before, I ain't never been broke since my first check in trucking, period. Never had to use data cards for cash advances. No disrespect to anybody who ever has been in that position to do that, but I never had to do that because I always knew how to manage my money. So what is good money in trucking? I was making it work with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even when I got on my own, you know, struggling to make $600 a week, $700 a week, but I took, you know what I'm saying, I was willing to adjust myself and embrace everything that was coming with being in trucking. You know what I'm saying? I cut my living expenses down to damn near zero. I went homeless. Coming in the trucking, I got rid of my apartment and just decided, like, man, I'm finna start all over in this truck. You know, as far as, you know, when I first started driving and shit back home, yeah, I had places to go. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make it work for you. But at that point in time, I didn't need no apartment. I'm gonna be all about this trucking, and that's the sacrifice that I made. You know what I'm saying? So, but everybody's situation is different. You might have kids, you might have a family, you got an old lady, and you know, you got to take some serious consideration into these things, man. And it's a lot of things that you might be coming into the industry with that you might be concerned about that might hold you back from getting to where you want to be in trucking, because it's gonna take some hard work and some sacrifice, man, to get to where you want to be at in this game, in this industry. Ain't no way around it. So there's that, man. Vonnie, you see another trucker, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, spread the message. Gone.